1984 was written about, and almost entirely about the USSR, and about how the communists fucking the communist way is dependent on forcing doublethink and convincing the people that reality isn't reality, and this extraordinary brainwashing and rewriting of history. Hassan does that. It's kind of nuts. What Dan?
There's people in the chat saying you're wrong about 1984 being about Stalinism. He's not.
I'm actually 100% true, and I hate to tell it to you, it's about Stalinism almost entirely.
Yeah. I think people get confused because Orwell was a socialist, which he was, but he was deeply critical of the USSR. So
being a socialist,
it's not really. I don't think that's that controversial.
Was he a socialist? No, it's known. Just look it up. It's known. It was mostly about the USSR, and it's so obvious if you've actually read the fucking book.
Yeah. Yes, he was a socialist, though. He was a pretty devoted one. He went and fought on the socialist side in the Spanish Civil War. He fought against the fascists and against the Nazis. But yeah, and a lot of tankies don't like him because of his criticism of the USSR, and I think he famously informed on a lot of pro USSR circles in the UK. So they straight up see him as a traitor for that.
People don't want to believe it. It's funny. The socialists are like, no, it's not about. Just literally look up, do one molecule of research.
1984 is about capitalism.
That is laughable.
It has things to say about capitalism, but it's not.
It is expressly about the Soviet Union, and it's not about capitalism. It's about this social structure, the brainwashing, the fucking the power, the control over the people. It's about autocracy. It's about that's
the thing. I think it's about capitalism insofar as threads of authoritarianism can run through a socialist or capitalist society. So yeah, it is. It's not that controversial to say that. I'm surprised to have seen people saying that that's not true. Mm-hmm. It's pretty true. It's pretty true. I loved that book in middle school, high school is when we had to read it.
I read it somewhat recently. It's definitely one of the best books ever written, and one of the most disturbing books ever written, especially as you get older and you really understand how something like that could happen. But yeah, George Orwell was a real one. And even as a socialist, he looked at Stalinism, which people today still fucking think is based, probably including Hassan, who wouldn't go as far as to be like, yeah, I'm pro-Stalin. But let's be real. He loves Russia, and he loves China, and he loves all these tanky scumbags. But yeah, he's basically doing Stalinist fucking brainwashing tactics here. And also a big part of the story is about snitching on anybody who's close to you who's not falling in perfectly in line. Telling on your parents, telling on your neighbors, telling on your friends, telling on your grandparents. That's what happened in the USSR because everybody was being fucking disappeared. 100 million people were just being fucking killed because they were suspected of wrong think. And that's where communism heads. It has to be autocratic. That's where it always heads. It's just doesn't work without a fucking autocrat. And a lot of them say that too. They're just open about it. Yeah, we need we like authoritarian government of the people. It's right, like Stalin. Got it.
Well, those people feel that way. I don't really think that way.
But I don't think you're actually a communist, Dan.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
all these labels are fucking dumb anyways. I mean, I think that is I don't think any of these people are what does that mean to be a communist in a society where we do not have communism? I mean, do I think that is a sort of long-term goal or sort of model of society that seems, desirable in the abstract? Yeah. But obviously we're very far away from that. And yeah, I mean, the people that advocate for, vanguardism and violent authoritarianism to enforce that vision, there's a
lot of that.
That ain't my vibe.
I know it's not. And that's what I'm saying. You're not like them.
Yeah.
You really aren't. And that's why I'm trying to say, my problem isn't necessarily with socialism. I mean, I myself am a social democrat for sure. My problem is with these fucking authoritarians that want to control you, that are illiberal, that are against personal freedoms, in the service of supposed equality at the hands of a fucking dictator who decides who's good, who goes to jail, who's bad, who gets fed, who doesn't.